Shalom. All praises to the Most High and Mashiach Yahushai. Bahashama Mashiach Yahushai. In the name of the Lord and Savior. Give him all praise and glory. I want to continue in the word of the Most High, giving instructions from the word of the Most High and guidance of how, mainly dealing with women scriptures. And as I deal with that, we're going to see how men fit into it also. But it's mainly going to be pertaining to women. As always, we're going to start with Colossians 3 and 17. And as I said before, this is something that men should be overwhelmed to let their woman know what the scriptures are saying pertaining to a righteous and a wicked and a virtuous woman. Colossians 3:17, and whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all Bahashama Mashiach Yahushai, which is in the name of the anointed Savior, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father, Bahashama Mashiach Yahushai, in the name of the anointed Savior. That's how we give thanks to the Most High, by Mashiach Yahushai. He said, no man comes to the Father but by me. So we thank the Most High for everything, or he's worthy to be praised for everything. So we're going to start off with, like I said, go to Revelation 20 and 10. Revelation 20 and 10. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire. Remember, go to Revelations 12 and 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil. See that? That old serpent called the devil. Going all the way back to the Garden of Eden. That old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. Deceive the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So you see here in Revelations 12 and 9, the devil have many names of identity. The dragon, the serpent, Satan, within that one scripture. So going back to Revelation 20 and 10, and the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone. He's going up to and fro, up and down on the earth. But this is his fate. And the devil that deceived them. So the devil deceived means what? That lied to the people. Was cast into the earth. Now, since he's cast to the earth, we read in Revelation 12 and 9, what is he doing? It's his last stance. So now when you look at, we're going to let the Bible talk to us tonight. As always, the word of the Most High. When you look at 2 Corinthians 11 And 14 and 15, it says, and no marvel for Satan, that same devil, that same serpent that we read about in Revelation 20 and 10, Revelation 12 and 9. And no marvel for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Deceive the whole world, right? By doing what? Casting himself into the earth and becoming an angel of light for those that have been deceived by the devil. It said, therefore it is no great thing if his ministers, so that Satan, the devil, the serpent, have ministers right here on the earth. Therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed. So they transform into something that they're not. That's transforming. As the ministers of righteousness. Remember, you see the whole world to believe that he's a minister of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. You hear that? The end will be according to their works. And what's the works? What's the end going to be? We read it in Revelation 20 and 10. And the devil that deceived them, like all you that go to the churches, and you go to these different religions and so forth, you're being deceived. If you're not coming out of this Bible dealing with the law, statute, commandments of the Most High, the faith of the Mashiach Yahushua, the fear of the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, you've been deceived. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone. You believe the Most High's so-called white man, Mashiach Yahushua, who they call Jesus Christ, the so-called white man, that image that they set up as Caesar Borgia, the second son of Pope Alexander VI, you've been deceived. You believe the Jewish people are the people of the book, the Israelite, ISH is suffix meaning pertaining to being like the Jew, the Israelites. Nah. They call themselves Israeli. Last I know, that somebody can, correct me in my understanding of A, E, I, O, and U as vowels. The I sound is I and I. So there's no E sound. So the I sound is I and I. So Israel lie. Remember what it said? Deceive the whole world. What's deceive? Lies. Lie to the whole world. So you fall into that category, you're going to be right with them. Revelation 20 and 10. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone. That's the end. They're going to be cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast, and the false prophet are. Remember, you got his ministers deceiving the whole world too. They appear as what? An angel of light. Like you got the Pope, and they getting up on charges. All the cardinals, all the bishops and so forth, up on charges for child molestation and all that. Unheard of. But heard of because you know that what I'm saying is a fact. And all the things going on in the secular churches, worldly churches, has nothing to do with spiritual. Or else you would know that this book is talking to the children of Israel. Who you are. The 12 tribes of Israel. The Most High's chosen people. Listen. Revelation 20 and 10. And the devil was the devil that deceived them. See? The devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone. Where the beast and the false prophet are. Now you know the beast represent the operation of the superpowers of the earth, Esau, so-called white man. And the false prophet represent what? from the Catholic Church all the way to all these different religions. That's not dealing with the truth. Unadulterated truth of this word of the Most High. Precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. To give the people on the earth the truth. As it is written. I see them, they rousing up behind because the truth is so powerful. And being so prominent in this earth, everywhere. Hallelujah to the Most High. Well, Shama myself, Kalushai. For it's growing, it ain't still. But understand, and shall be tormented day and night, forever and ever. See? Gonna be tormented day and night. No rest. Hear what it said? Forever and ever. That's why you better understand. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe, destruction, woe means destruction to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Those on the earth, those out in the sea. For the devil has come down unto you. Remember, you deceived many people. He come down unto you, having great wrath. This wrath is coming. Having great wrath. Why? Because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So he come out with this wrath. Because he know he have but a short time. So he started with the woman. Can't nobody deny that. He started with the woman. What you think? He don't know how to deal with y'all? Y'all a weaker vessel? He started with women. Started with Eve. And you understand this. So y'all want to put it just on her. Some of y'all done had children. Some of y'all done have to go through whatever you have to go through every month with a cycle and so forth. Listen. Go to Genesis 3:16. Unto the woman he said. Genesis 3:16. This is the judgment for the woman. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. Sorrow, sadness, pain, hurting. In thy conception, having children. And those cycles you got to deal with. A lot of women have pains having a cycle every month. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. In sorrow you're going to bring forth children. And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. See, a lot of you don't want that because you want to be your own ruler. Ain't no man going to tell me what to do. What do you think of Mashiach the Most High? Men. Exodus 50:3, the Most High and the Mashiach is a man of war. Most High and the Mashiach is his name. Because Mashiach said in St. John 10:30, I and my Father are one. They agree. You ain't going to run to what Mashiach as religions do. Think you're going to run from the power who y'all call the God of the Old Testament into the New Testament. You're going to find somebody different? No. Mashiach coming back to judge and make war. I don't know what y'all think. He said his own citizens didn't want him to reign over them. He said, but those that would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. See, they ain't reading that in the church, are they? Luke 19:14 and Luke 19:27. No, they ain't reading that. Run people out. Because y'all think the Most High is all love. He is love. He loved to bring about a righteous judgment upon our butts. So you see what he told the woman. Now, if that's just for Eve, you women out there, I mean, y'all have babies. Some of y'all don't have babies. This doesn't apply to you. It apply to you. From what she did. Look at let's go into it. Let's go into because like I said, there's a balance to all of this. So let's look at the jealousy of a man and his woman. Go to Deuteronomy 22, and we're going to start at verse 13. if any man take a wife, did you notice how I say man taking a wife, man taking a woman, choosing a woman, and go in unto her, meaning have sex with her and hate her? You go into her, you hate her, and give occasions of speech against her, and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid. She wasn't a young woman. She wasn't, a virgin. A virgin is a young woman whether she has sex or not. And most our women, they were virgins when a man got with them. Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate.
We thank everybody for being here. We thank everybody on the phone conference and on the internet. Welcome. So we have a few familiar faces. Welcome you.
So let's continue with the word of the Most High. Deuteronomy 22 and 15. Now, he didn't accuse her of not being a maid, which is a virgin. A young woman, whether she's had sex or not. But this woman is a virgin. So you see where it says not a maid. So now the parents getting involved. In verse 15 it said, then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. Now what this is what they would have is what you would call a cloth that she would lay on, and they would go into what we call the wedding chamber, what you might know as the reception today. It's not the same, but that's where that comes from. You would have the people waiting outside. They would have what they call a wedding chamber, and the man would go inside this wedding chamber with his wife, and she would lay on this, what it calls tokens of the damsel's virginity, that she was a virgin, just proving that she was a virgin, and she would lay on this cloth, and then when the man go into her, have sexual intercourse with her, then the blood would go on the cloth, and she would come out and give it to her father. So they would have this to prove that she was a virgin when he married her. That's what this is talking about in verse 15. Verse 16, and the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, now that he have this virginity cloth with her blood on it, the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hated her. And lo, he hath given occasions of speech against her. He's talking about her to everybody, putting her down, saying she wasn't a virgin, this, that, and the third, because he hated her. And lo, he hath given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid. I mean a virgin. And yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And yet here is the cloth of the blood of my daughter, to prove she was a virgin. And you got all the people out there at the wedding seeing her give the blood that's on the cloth to her daddy. Verse 17, and lo, he hath given occasion of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth, see, it's a cloth, that have her blood on it. They shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. And the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him. Yeah, he might get beat 39 strikes. Save one. 40 save one. It was 39. And they shall amends him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he hath brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel. See? He don't like her, so he gonna start talking about her. Gotta give up 100 shekels of silver, and give it to the father, because he hath brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days. Can't divorce her. Most I hate divorce anyway. He hates separation. But it's another condition. If this thing be true, if what he said was true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, she wasn't a virgin, she wasn't a young maid, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of the father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones that she die, because she hath wrought folly in Israel to play the whore. See, we ain't play that stuff. Women wasn't jumping around with man to man to man. She to play the whore in her father's house. See? She to play the whore in her father's house. So shalt thou put evil away from among you. That's deep. That's serious. Let's continue in the law. Verse 22. If a man be found lying with a woman, meaning he having sex with a woman, married to an husband, and she's married to another man, which is her husband, then they shall both of them die. Both the man that lay with the woman and the woman. So shall thou put away evil from Israel. That's adultery. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed, that means engaged unto an husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her, a man find her in the city and have sex with her, and she engaged to another man. And a lot of times these marriages were known. You know that you're going to marry this man. Your father been giving you to an Israelite man and an Israelite woman. This is known. You engaged. You haven't actually, went through the marriage ceremony yet. Going into the wedding chamber, as I said, with the token of your virginity cloth. Then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. She engaged to another man, betrothed to another man, and she lied with another man. These are conditions. Both of them are to be brought out and stoned to death once it's known that they die. The damsel, because she cried not. She didn't scream out, rape, 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 rape. Being in the city. And the man, because he had humbled his neighbor's wife. He had committed adultery against his neighbors of Israel's wife. So thou shalt put away evil from among you. So that's evil. Verse 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her, meaning he trying to rape her, or he rape her, and lie with her, then the man only, that lay with her shall die. Why? But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. Whereas when his neighbor, against his neighbor, and excuse me, but unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing, there is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man rises against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. If a man rises up against his neighbor unjustly and kill him, so is this matter. For he found her in the field, in the world somewhere. He found the damsel in the world, and the betrothed damsel cried. She cried out. And there was none to save her. Nobody came to save her. Verse 28, if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, she's a virgin, and she's not engaged to any man, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found. So she's a virgin. She haven't known any man. And she lied with this man lied with her, and they be found. It be found out that they have laid down together and had sex. Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife. Then you know, this will let you know that sexual intercourse represents marriage. And it say nothing about nobody sitting up talking about by the authority invested in me by the state of New York, I pronounce you now man and wife. No. But the Most High is joined together. He's letting you know in his law right here. Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's fathers 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife. Because he hath humbled her, he may not put her away all his days. See? Verse 30, a man shall not take his father's wife, nor discover his father's skirt. So you can't take your father's wife and lay with her, nor discover his father's skirt. See? Look at Deuteronomy 23 and 2. It says, a bastard, which is the father of this child, shall not enter into the congregation of the Most High, even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of the Most High. A bastard. See. Now, look at Wisdom of Solomon, 3rd chapter. There's some understanding here. This Wisdom of Solomon, the 3rd chapter, and we're going to book it at verse 16. Wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha, the 3rd chapter, verse 16. As for the children of adulteresses, adulterers, just like we just went over, adultery. That woman get pregnant. The children of adulterers, they shall not come to their perfection. And a lot of women that were married to a man went outside of that marriage and got with another man. The man knew that she was married and she got pregnant, and here it is. Everybody think it's her husband's child when it's this man outside of the marriage child. That's adultery. Adultery is a man whether married or not, going with a married woman that belongs to another man. And a married woman going outside of her marriage, going and laying with a man outside from her husband. So it says, as for the children of adulterers, they shall not come to their perfection. And the seed of an unrighteous bed shall be rooted out. Be rooted out. For though they live long, they might live a long time, he said, yet shall they be nothing regarded. So I say you're going to regard them. They're going to be nothing regarded. And their last age shall be without honor. Before they die, so they'll be without honor. Or if they die quickly, at a young age, they have no hope, neither comfort in the day of trial. For horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation. You hear what it said? For horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation. That's the generation we're in now to the utmost. You know, they sung songs about adultery back in the day. They still singing them. You know, they ain't treat you right. I'll come over here. I'll take care of you. I'll do you right, baby. Adultery. They belong to another man, but here it is. It's being exalted. Go to Wisdom of Solomon, the 4th chapter, the 3rd verse. Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 3. But the multiplying brood of the unrighteous shall not strive, nor take deep rooting, from bastard slips. Remember, a bastard should not enter the congregation to the 10th generation, Mosiah said. Bastard slips, nor lay any fast foundation. Bastard slips, he called them. Because they bastards, because they children from adultery. For though they flourish in branches for a time, bringing forth, children and fruit, yet standing not fast, they shall be shaken with the wind. They're going to be shaken with the wind. They're bringing forth branches, so they're going to be shaken with the wind, like a tornado or a hurricane. And through the force of winds, they shall be rooted out. See? So they're going to be rooted out. Because you cannot bring that same spirit over and over again in the kingdom. Remember, it's going to be righteousness in the kingdom. So they got to be rooted out. Because ain't going to be no men lying with another man's woman in the kingdom. It's going to be rooted out. That's what he's saying. The importance to the imperfect branches shall be broken off. The imperfect branches shall be broken off. Their fruit unprofitable, not ripe to eat, meat for nothing, right for nothing, he's saying. Good for nothing, for real. Say, for children begotten of unlawful beds, adultery, are witnesses of wickedness against their parents in their trial. When they stand, they're going to be witnesses against their parents in their trial. The man and woman that committed adultery, to have them, it's going to be witness against them. How you going to say it didn't happen? When here they are right in front of a Mashiach Shai, at the Most High, in their trial. Trial. That's the judgment. You know, you go to trial, that's the judgment, right? After the trial is the judgment. There it is. That's what he's talking about. That's why we have to be sure in our righteousness to the best of our ability in following the Most High's commandments. Go to Ecclesiasticus 23. And we're going to look at verse 22. It says, thus shall it go also with the wife that leaveth her husband, and bringeth in an heir by another. What we've been talking about, that bastard. Bastard slips. She done left her husband. Now she done brought forth an heir by another man. For first, she have disobeyed the law of the Most High. For first, she have disobeyed the law of the Most High. And secondly, she have trespassed against her own husband. And thirdly, she have played the whore in adultery and brought children by another man. He done told you what's going to happen with the children. She shall be brought out into the congregation, and inquisition shall be made of her children. Her children shall not take root. I mean, her children are not going to take root in this. And her branches shall bring forth no fruit. She shall leave her memory to be cursed. When she died, so her memory going to be cursed. And her reproach, which is disgrace, shall not be blotted out. The disgrace of going with another man, bringing forth children, shall not be blotted out. And they that remain shall know that there is nothing better than the fear of the Most High. Those that remain going to recognize that there's nothing more worth than the fear of the Most High. To be afraid, to be scared of the Most High, to respect the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments. Listen. And they that remain shall know that there is nothing better than the fear of the Most High, and that there is nothing sweeter than to take heed unto the commandments of the Most High. I'm going to read to you again. And they that remain shall know that there is nothing better than the fear of the Most High, and that there is nothing sweeter than to take heed unto the commandments of the Most High. That's why you got to know this Bible. It is a great glory to follow the Most High, and to be received of Him is long life. What it said? It's a great glory to follow the Most High. And to be received of Him is long life. To live a long time. Ecclesiasticus, the 25th chapter, verse 1 to 6. In three things, Ecclesiasticus 25 and 1. In three things I was beautiful, and stood up beautiful both before the Most High and men. The unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and wife that agree together. You know? A man and wife that agree together. What it says, in three things I was beautified, and stood up beautiful both before the Most High and men. A man and wife that agree together. Three sorts of man my soul hateth, and I am greatly offended at their life. A poor man that is proud. You know? Say, hate a poor man that's prideful. A rich man that is a liar, and an old adulterer that doteth. Here go that adulterer again. If thou hast gathered nothing in thy youth, how canst thou find anything in thine age? You ain't gathered nothing while you young for the future, but when you get old, so how you gonna have anything when you get old? You ain't gathered nothing in your youth. How can thou find anything in thine age? Oh, how comely, which is beautiful, a thing is judgment, for gray hairs, and for ancient men to know counsel. See what he says? Oh, how comely, which is beautiful. Oh, how beautiful a thing is judgment, for gray hairs, and for ancient men to know counsel. Oh, how comely, how beautiful is the wisdom of old men, and understanding and counsel of men of honor. Much experience is the crown of old men, because you living every day. Esau got what, 365 days to a year? 366 days to a year? If you ain't lived long, how are you supposed to have this experience that it's talking about? That's why it says old men. Much experience is the crown of old men, because every day you experience something. And the fear of the Most High is their glory. The fear of the Most High is their glory. So when you look at, why are you always talking about the fear of the Most High? Because you notice, even if you knew or have known anyone that was of an elderly age, by the time they started to get older, they changed. Even if there was one way when they was younger, when they started to get older, they started, changing. They started going to church, even though, that's not right. And learning what, they should learn. That's all they know, because they haven't been exposed. Most haven't called them to a Mashiach of Shine to understand this truth. A lot of people, the truth come out of the church. You see what I'm saying? So, but you see, when they get older, what do? They fear the Most High. They start going to church. And they start, trying to learn and reading the Bible. Change it. That's why it says, much experience is the crown of old men, and the fear of the Most High is their glory. See? From there, look at Hebrews 13. Hebrews 13. Hebrews the 13th chapter and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. Still with that adultery. A bed undefiled. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers, the Most High will judge. Mashiach Yahushua going to judge through the power of the Most High. Titus 2. Titus, the 2nd chapter. Titus 2, and we're going to look at verse 1. Titus, the 2nd chapter, verse 1. But speak thou of things which become sound doctrine. Speak of the things that become sound doctrine, that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, in patience. Gotta have all these characteristics. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness. The aged women, the older women, likewise, that they be in behavior, they got to act a certain way, as becometh holiness. Not false accusing, not accusing somebody of something falsely, lying on someone. That's part of breaking the 10 Commandments of the Most High. In their own mind, their own vain opinion. Remember, say for many are deceived by their own vain opinion, the evil suspicion overthrown their judgment. That will make you accuse somebody falsely. The aged women, verse 3, likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accuser, not given to much wine, Don't be drinking a lot or wine. Teachers of good things. See? Aged women can teach, not no men, but there's a lot of young people. Teach your children. Teachers of good things. What's good? The laws of the Most High. First and foremost, the Most High. Because remember, Mashiach Shai will let the rich man call him good. Ain't nobody good but the Most High. And we know that's in, you can read that in Matthew 19:16 down, and you can read about what's good concerning the law in Romans 7 and 12. Verse 4. That they may teach the young women. See? The elderly women are supposed to be examples for the young women. To be sober. They will be teaching the young women to be sober. We said they can't be given too much wine. That's why I said that the elderly women should not be given too much wine. How you gonna be a drunkard and drinking a lot of wine and you gonna tell the young women, oh, don't be like me? You're supposed to be an example of everybody gonna be just like you. That's why you can say this. Teaching the young women, see what it says? That they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children. Teach the young women how to keep their home in order. So they have to have these characteristics to be able to teach someone else, else they're a hypocrite. And believe me, these young women are going to pick people out. It says to be discreet. This was the elderly women teaching the younger women. To be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, keep their butt at home, take care of the house. Good. Keeping the laws of the Most High, believing in the Most High. Obedient to their own husbands. It's a great job. I mean, it's like I said, it's a job that women, they want to take on the responsibility they're supposed to have. You want to make it to the kingdom. You have a responsibility here. Obedient to their own husbands. That's the law. We just read the law in Genesis 3 and 16. That the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. Hear that? That the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. You do contrary to this, then the word of the Most High gonna be blasphemed through your actions. And remember what he said, you blaspheme the Holy Spirit, you ain't going to the kingdom. You're gonna be not accepted in this kingdom we in now and the kingdom to come. Condemned. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, 25th chapter, the 8th verse. Ecclesiasticus 25 and 8. Well is him that dwelleth with a wife of understanding. And it says, well is him that dwelleth with a wife of understanding, and that hath not slipped with his tongue. Said the wrong thing. Thinking before he speak. And have a wife with understanding. Remember it says wisdom is the principal thing, well, with all that getting, get understanding. Proverbs 4 and 7, probably paraphrasing. Well is a man that dwelleth with a wife of understanding. She understands this truth. And that have not slipped with his tongue. And that have not served a man more unworthy than himself. Serve a man and you know he ain't worth serving. Ecclesiasticus 40. Ecclesiasticus 40 and 19. Children and the building of a city continue a man's name. Children and the building of a city continue a man's name. But a blameless wife is counted above them both. Hear that? A blameless wife is counted above them both. children, and the building of a city, continual man's name. But a blameless wife is counted above them both. Verse 23. A friend and companion never meet amiss, but above both is a wife with her husband. Get that? With understanding. Ecclesiastes 42 and 6. Ecclesiastes 42 and 6. Sure keeping is good. When an evil wife is, sure keeping is good where an evil wife is, and shut up where many hands are. You hear that? Sure keeping is good where an evil wife is, and shut up, and shut up, and shut up. Where many hands are. See? Look at Proverbs 21 and 9. Proverbs 21 and 9. I mean, the Most High, let's say, women take it where you want to take it, but Most High always deal with men. So now that you hear about women, women have a fit, and some men that's infeminate gonna have a fit about hearing about women, but you better listen and learn. Men and women, so you'll know. Proverbs 21 and 9. I do believe these men were moved by the Holy Spirit as they were writing these words. Proverbs 21 and 9. It is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop. You're on the roof of a housetop, in the corner of a housetop, than with a brawling woman in a wide house. A brawling woman in a wide house. Everywhere you go, she's nagging you, running her mouth. It would have said it's better to dwell in a corner of a housetop. Because you know, a lot of housetops back in the day was flat. You can go over to the corner and chill. So in the corner of a housetop, than with a brawling woman in a wide house. She just running her big mouth, arguing, just nagging a man. Verse 19. Proverbs 21 and 19. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman. So it's better to dwell in the wilderness than a contentious and an angry woman.